It's not just feeling tired. It's a heavy feeling. It's a dullness, a sense of being clogged that you can't shake, no matter how much you sleep. It's the unexplainable skin issues, the blemishes, the dull tone, or the irritation that creams can't seem to fix. It's the brain fog that makes you feel like you're wading through mud. You've been told it's just stress or normal aging, but you know, intuitively, that something is out of balance. You are not imagining this. That overburdened feeling is a real biological signal. Before we begin, please remember that I am a health researcher and translator, not a medical doctor. This video is for informational and educational purposes only. Please consult your physician for any medical advice. Today, we're going to put the science back into your kitchen and find the clarity you deserve. Your body's master filter, its chief chemist and purification plant, is your liver. This brilliant organ performs over 500 functions, but its most critical job is what we call hepatic detoxification. It's responsible for filtering your blood and neutralizing everything you're exposed to, from environmental toxins and processed food ingredients to old hormones and the byproducts of a high pathogen load your body is managing. This detoxification process is a complex two-step assembly line known as Phase 1 and Phase 2. Think of Phase 1 as the identification crew. Its job is to take a toxin and, using a family of enzymes called cytochrome P450, break it down. But here is the critical part. This process often creates intermediate metabolites that are even more toxic and inflammatory than the original substance. This is where Phase 2, the packaging and removal crew, is supposed to jump in. Phase 2 takes those toxic intermediates and conjugates them. It packages them up with specific nutrients, like sulfur or glutathione, to make them water-soluble so they can be safely eliminated through your bile or your kidneys. In a balanced system, this is a seamless, beautiful dance. But in our modern world, the liver becomes overburdened. The sheer volume of toxins, stress, and pathogens puts Phase 1 into overdrive. It works too fast, creating a flood of toxic intermediates. Phase 2, which requires a lot of energy and nutrients, can't keep up. The result is a traffic jam. A backlog of these inflammatory intermediate toxins builds up in your liver and your bloodstream. That is the overburdened feeling. That is the fatigue, the brain fog, and the skin issues. It is the physical evidence of an imbalanced detoxification pathway. So, if the problem is a traffic jam between Phase 1 and Phase 2, the solution isn't a harsh flush that just adds more work. The solution is to find a traffic controller. We need a biological tool that can slow down the out-of-control Phase 1 while simultaneously providing the packaging materials to support the overworked Phase 2. We need a modulator. This is where the biochemistry of a very common food becomes extraordinary. We are talking about grapefruit. For years, you have likely heard one thing about grapefruit: don't eat it with medications. This is, in fact, the key to its power, and we are going to deconstruct the why. Grapefruit, particularly its pith and peel, is loaded with powerful bioactive compounds, most notably the flavonoids naringin and naringenin. This is the fascinating part. You've heard grapefruit interacts with medications because Naringenin is famous for its ability to inhibit those phase 1 cytochrome P450 enzymes. Cite DGB et al. 2013, Canadian Medical Association Journal. For someone on medication, this is a risk. But for a person with an overburdened liver, this mechanism is a brilliant, supportive tool. Remember, in our overburdened state, phase 1 is working too fast, creating a toxic backlog. Naringenin, when you consume it, travels to the liver and gently pumps the brakes on phase 1. It calms that hyperactive identification crew. This single action slows the creation of those toxic intermediate metabolites, stopping the flood. This gives your struggling phase 2 pathway a chance to finally catch up. It clears the traffic jam. But grapefruit doesn't stop there. While it's slowing phase 1, it's also supporting phase 2. The same compounds, naringenin and its related limonoids, are powerful antioxidants. They help to quench the oxidative stress that the backlog has created, protecting your liver cells from damage. Furthermore, grapefruit is a powerhouse of vitamin C, a critical nutrient that your liver needs to perform those phase 2 packaging reactions. Cite S.M.Z. et al. 2017, Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry. So, grapefruit is performing two elegant, synergistic functions. It slows down the toxin creation, phase 1, while simultaneously speeding up the toxin removal, phase 2. It is a perfect biochemical modulator, and I've linked some of this fascinating research for you in the description. This rebalancing act is what allows your liver to finally clear that backlog. When those inflammatory intermediates are no longer circulating, the toxic feeling of fatigue begins to lift. The brain fog clears. And because the liver is no longer forcing toxins out through your skin, your complexion begins to find its clarity. So, we have the why our liver feels overburdened because of a traffic jam between phase 1 and phase 2 detoxification. We have the what. Grapefruit's naringenin acts as a traffic controller to rebalance those phases. Now, we need the how. And this is the most important part, because you cannot get this benefit from drinking a glass of processed grapefruit juice. The sugar in juice will just add more burden to your liver. The real science, the healing compounds, are not just in the juice, they are in the pith, that bitter, white, spongy part between the fruit and the peel. That bitterness is the naringenin. To get the benefit, you must eat the whole fruit. This brings us to our simple 5-minute protocol. I call it the liver balancing morning ritual. Here is the protocol. First, when to do it. In the morning, on an empty stomach, at least 15 to 20 minutes before your first meal. This allows the compounds to prep your liver's detoxification pathways for the day. Second, what to use. Half of a grapefruit. Pink or red varieties are excellent, as they also contain lycopene, another powerful antioxidant. Third, how to eat it. The crucial step. Do not just scoop out the fruit. The best way is to slice the grapefruit into wedges, like an orange. This way, as you eat the flesh, you are also getting a significant amount of that white, nutrient-dense pith. Fourth, yes, it will be bitter. You must embrace that bitterness. That is the taste of the science at work. That is the naringenin, beginning its modulating work. Now, we must end with the most important trust protocol note. Because grapefruit is so effective at modulating the phase 1 CYP450 pathway, it must not be consumed if you are on any critical medication, especially statins, blood pressure medications, anti-anxiety drugs, SSRIs, or hormone replacements. This is not a casual warning. This is a critical biochemical interaction. You must speak to your doctor, or even better, your pharmacist, and ask them, is my medication metabolized by the CYP450 enzymes, and is it contraindicated with grapefruit? This honesty is central to our clarity. For those who are clear, this 5-minute ritual is a profound act of self-care. It is a simple, scientific way to tell your liver, I see that you're overburdened, and I am here to help. Healing is not about a magic bullet. It is about a series of small, consistent, and informed choices. That bitterness from the grapefruit pith is not something to avoid. It is the very signal of its power. You are not just eating breakfast. You are a detective, giving your body the precise biochemical tool it needs to rebalance, repair, and find its clarity.